Hey, what's up guys? It's TechZoomer talking to you here, and I cannot believe it. It has been 2 weeks since I got my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Yes, I've been using this iPhone for the last 2 weeks. And in today's video, I want to talk about my experience and what specially has improved since my review. I've published my review of this phone last week, so I've had about 1 week of experience. And I specifically talked about the overheating issues on that review, saying that it was a problem. Yes, on the iPhone it kind of got a little bit hot, and the issue was from the developers, and Apple needed to do something about it. And so, yes, 1 week later, I'm very happy to report that all those issues, until right now, have been fixed. So, yes, in today's video, let's talk about what's new with iOS 17.0.3, which fixed my battery issues with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So, yeah, in today's video, I think that the iPhone has been fixed. So, no further ado, do not forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about my experience on the last 2 weeks, shall we? Before I start talking about the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I just gotta tell you that I've bought the Pixel 8 Pro. Yes, I've bought the Google Pixel 8 Pro to review and compare against my iPhone 15 Pro Max. So if you are excited, subscribe to the channel because next week I will get my new phone. It's for review, I will get it for 1 month, and in that month I will compare it, everything. Cameras, displays, speakers, performance, Android versus iOS. I will daily drive it for 1 month and I will tell you my experience. So if you are excited for a Apple switches to Google Pixel 8 Pro, then of course, drop a like down below and subscribe to my channel because I will have those videos, those types of videos next week. But until then, I need to talk about more about my iPhone 15 because since I've launched my review last week, this phone has improved very, very much. Apple released software patches, and of course, even Instagram and other apps released their software upgrades so they can actually fix the problems that they were causing to the iPhone. So I think that 1 week after I released my review, most of iPhone 15 Pro Max issues have been solved. So yeah, let's talk about 3 main things onto this video that actually impacted my life in the last 2 weeks. I don't want to talk about all the things that are on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It doesn't make any sense. For that, you have my full review. But in today's video, I want to talk about 3 main topics that I think changed my life with the iPhone 15 Pro Max for the better and actually made some impact when I bought the iPhone 15 Pro Max from the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So these 3 topics are USB-C, the action button, and the cameras. So first and foremost, let's get this out of the way. Most of the overheating issues that were plaguing the iPhone 15 Pro Max since the beginning it was launched have been gone. Apple released the software update 17.0.3 iOS version, and Instagram released their updates for their apps, Uber Eats and Uber released their updates for their apps, and now most of the problems with overheating are done and removed. So you can now start using your Instagram app, your Uber app like normal. Be aware, if you have any issues, report it on YouTube, Reddit, Apple, talk to Apple employees, call Apple, complain, because this makes a lot of difference. Feedback makes a lot of difference. We got so many people talking about this overheating issue on the iPhone 15 Pro Max that Apple ended up making a statement saying that it was true. It was because of some developer apps and they were working on a software patch. So thank you, Apple. This new software update for iOS, this iOS 17.0.3 has been fixed. So I don't think we will ever have any more issues with overheating on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Especially now with this software upgrade, we've got new battery life gains because I don't know what Apple did to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but since I updated to this version, my battery has like skyrocketed to like 10 to 20% battery life. I've done a day in the life, and that day was extremely taxing on the battery of the iPhone because I was recording 4K video every single minute of the day. I was recording my whole day, showing you my day in the life and always using this iPhone 15 Pro Max. And at the end of the day, I killed the iPhone, but it was around midnight when it died, with almost like 6 hours or 5 hours and a half of battery usage, of time using the iPhone, and most of it was YouTube and the camera app, which are very taxing on the iPhone. So I think that was a really good real-world test, and on top of that you could see my whole day, how I do it, what I do, and of course, how I create these amazing videos for you guys. So go check it out, you will like it. But again, like I was saying, the battery life is much more improved with this new iOS 17.0.3. So if you have any problems with the battery life on your new iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, try to see if you are updated to this latest version, the overheating issues, the battery life, most of them will be fixed. So really easy, go into settings, general, information, and then see which iOS version are you on. If you are not on iOS 17.0.3, update it to it, just go into software update and of course install it. But yeah, that's it in terms of all the issues that were fixed for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But now I want to talk about three main things, like I told you, that actually improved my day-to-day life with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So the first big thing that made a huge impact in my life was the action button. The action button now enables you to do tons of new things, and especially since I got my iPhone 15 Pro Max, this action button has been mapped to be my camera button and my shutter button. Since then, I've used this button a ton because instead of trying to click on the screen and using the iPhone and opening this portal, whenever I want to take a very quick picture, I just click, hold the action button, and I'm ready to take the picture. It's really, really easy instead of just trying to use your phone and opening the app on a separate screen. Or whenever I'm on the menu, like even if you unlock your iPhone, you are on your menu and you want to use your camera app. You don't need to be searching the camera app or at least Spotlight search it or whatever else. You just click, hold the action button and open the camera app. You can also do tons of things here. You can create shortcuts to use. There's so many cool things you can do with the Shortcuts app and then use the action button to start them all. That is an insane amount of customization that you now have on iOS 17 and very, very powerful features. Go into YouTube and search action button best shortcuts. And oh my God, you will lose yourself on the amount of videos that you have, the amount of detail. Quinn Nelson from Slavzy Labs did an amazing video. Go check it out. You will lose yourself in the amount of features and things you can do with the action button. So the action button had a huge impact in my life, and I think it's a pretty cool feature. Cannot wait for you to have it on the next iPhone 16s, because the rumors are saying that the iPhone 16 might have the action button. I don't know, but I wish you can, because you need to experience this. If you are buying the normal iPhones, you are losing very much with not having the action button. The next thing that actually made a huge impact in my life was the cameras. Yes, the cameras on this iPhone are very different than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And at first, you don't think so, because these cameras are the same triple camera system as the iPhone 14 Pro Max. They have the same main sensor, the same 40 megapixel main sensor, the same ultra-wide sensor, and just a little bit better telephoto. Telephoto, they can zoom a little bit further. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Because the new 40 megapixel sensor, yes, it's a new sensor. It's not the same 40 megapixel. It just ended up having the same 40 megapixels, but it's a totally different new system. This is a new sensor, and this sensor enables you to capture more light. It's better in low light performance, enables you to crop in 1.2 and 1.5 times instead of just the 2 times on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. It's really powerful. It has the new HDR5, which is insane, gives you amazing colors. These photos coming from this iPhone now are really close to a mirrorless camera. Trust me, really close. And you can be surprised by the fact that you might confuse the photos from one to another. It's insane. Trust me, insane. And at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want the iPhone to get really close to those incredible pictures taken by the mirrorless cameras. But of course, it's not just the photos coming out of this iPhone. The video is also really good. In my day in the life video, I shot that day half with the iPhone, half with the Sony a6700. And although you can notice the differences, especially when I use the log format on the iPhone, it's really good. And for those pro filmmakers that want to match footage from the iPhone 15 Pro Max for B-roll with their Sony cameras, with their Fuji cameras, with their full frame cameras, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is an ideal candidate because now features 4K 60 up to with an external recording on SSDs and in log ProRes format. This is insane. This is the first time that it happened on the iPhone, and since I got it on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, I cannot stop using it. I've bought a Samsung T7 Shield just for this purpose, to edit my videos on, and of course record my B-roll with my iPhone 15 Pro Max whenever I don't want to use my big camera. So yes, this is insane. It's a really good feature coming to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Use it. And if you have an iPhone 15 Pro Max, please use it. It's really good, and I think you will love it. As for the other cameras, well, what I have to say, the same ultra-wide sensor from the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Here, you don't see much improvements, only on the HDR and a bit on the low light performance, maybe because of the new chip, the new A17 Pro. Other than that, not big changes on the ultra-wide camera. But if you move on to the telephoto camera, the new telephoto camera on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you will find that this new 120mm camera is much better than the older 3x 77mm equivalent telephoto camera from the iPhone 14 Pro Max. This gives you so much more natural shots, natural bokeh, incredible portrait shots that I gotta say it's totally worth it to upgrade to the Pro Max model instead of the Pro just because of it. Yes, deal with the bigger size even if you don't like it, because this telephoto will surprise you very, very much. It's an incredible camera, trust me guys. Incredible, incredible camera. I cannot say better things about it. Taking shots of humans now on iPhone has become the best thing. Because in my opinion, now the iPhone 15 Pro Max is the best phone at capturing humans. The main camera, incredible. The color science, incredible. The log format video removes all that sharpening, all that phone look that the iPhone and other Samsung phones and other Android phones give to their video, now with the log format completely removed. And now, especially with the Pro Max model, having that 5x telephoto, you can get really, really close and take amazing portrait shots of humans, cars, pets. It's incredible. Trust me, incredible. And talking about portrait modes, now the new iPhone 15 Pro Max and Pro models have the automatic portrait mode. This is an insane feature that is super cool. It's also available on the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. This feature automatically takes the information for the portrait mode being available post-production and takes it while you are taking your first photo. You just need to open the camera app, click the shutters button, and boom, you have your photo. Then, if you go into your Photos app, click on the photo that you actually taken, you will see that you have the portrait there. The portrait option is a menu that you can select if you want the portrait photo or the non-portrait photo. Yes, because the iPhone took both photos. Just say they took the normal photo, but they retained the information for if you want to change it up for a portrait mode later. So yes, if you don't know if you want to take a portrait mode, portrait photo, or a normal photo, just take it and later down decide. This is just like the Google Pixel 8 Pro mentality. Fix it in post, decide later on post what you want to do. Now you can decide which bokeh do you want to apply to your portrait mode later on post, like if you want 1.4 until 13, or if you want to change focus like cinematic mode, if you want to change the focus of your picture from one person to another, or at least to a building, to a crane, to a car, whatever you want to. This is a really, really powerful feature, and now automatic portrait modes in my life have made a very, very big difference. So yeah, altogether, the video capabilities, the photo capabilities put the iPhone 15 Pro Max much closer to mirrorless cameras. And so in the last 2 weeks, having used it very, very much for my channel, I love it. It's an incredible phone, it's an incredible camera, and for the last 2 weeks, this has made a huge impact in my life. And lastly, the biggest thing, and the thing that actually changed the most on the iPhone 15 Pro Max from the iPhone 14 Pro Max, it's USB-C. USB-C is huge. This is the biggest thing to happen to the iPhone for the last 5 to 10 years. It's really big. Apple didn't change the port since the first time they introduced the Lightning port, and that was on the iPhone 5. Yeah, the iPhone 5. We are on the iPhone 15. Imagine. It's so ridiculous to say, but since the iPhone 5 we had the same port until the iPhone 14. That's true. The same Lightning port with USB-C 2.0 speeds was on the iPhone 5 and on the iPhone 15. But now Apple has changed the port. Now they've put USB-C 3.0 speeds, so really, really fast, 10 GB per second speeds on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This enables so many features that, oh my God, I'm super excited for the next year or two of the iPhone, because the amount of accessories that will emerge and be created out of this single USB-C port is insane. Now you can charge your Apple Watch with your iPhone. You can charge other people's iPhones with your iPhone. You can charge other people's Android phones with your iPhone. You can charge your AirPods with your iPhone. You can charge everything with speeds up to 4.5 watts via the USB-C port. It's as simple as connecting one USB-C to the iPhone and the other USB-C part or other accessory to another accessory that you want, and it will charge it. Obviously, you cannot charge your laptop, your Mac, your iPad, because those require much more power. But if you find an accessory, something that actually can take just 4.5 watts, the iPhone will charge it, like the Apple Watch, like the AirPods, or other phones. Yes, it will be very, very slow to charge other people's iPhones with this 4.5 watt port, but that's not the point of it. The point is that you can do it now, and this is just for emergencies. So finally, you are not limited. Now you can charge whatever you want to using this USB-C port. Besides, now one cable can charge all of your devices, and this, in my opinion, is a very, very cool thing. The one thing that I not enjoyed on the iPhone 15 Pro Max having USB-C is with my car. My car only has USB-A ports, and I had to throw away my Lightning cable that was there because I was used to use CarPlay using the Lightning port. And for the first week, I did not have a USB-A to USB-C port, and so I couldn't use CarPlay on my car just because my iPhone switched ports. This was a real thing, And I do believe that will happen to most people that now have older iPhone accessories, older Lightning port accessories. So this might be the only minor inconvenience from iPhone. What did I do? Well, I went to a shop, a normal shop. I bought a USB-A to USB-C cable. Be sure that this cable is able to transfer data, not just transferring a charge, because the USB-C world is a very confusing one. Always buy the transfer data, transfer charge, always buy the most powerful cable. You don't need to buy the USB-C 3.0 cables, the 3.2 or the Thunderbolt cables. Those are expensive. But when buying USB-C cables, be sure you are buying from a trusted brand and you are buying them with high quality standards. If you think I'm joking, guys, I'm not. Because I've bought the wrong USB-C cable for my car, and what ended up happening was I connected to the USB-A port to my iPhone then, and nothing appeared on my CarPlay screen. And I was getting very desperate because I was thinking, oh my god, maybe my car doesn't support USB-C CarPlay. I'm screwed. I won't ever have CarPlay just because I switched iPhones. But it wasn't a problem. Then I calmed down a bit and thought, wait, is it because of the cable? Maybe this cable just charges things, not even transfers data, and that was the problem. So, very careful when buying cables. But other than that, I had no problems, bought that cable, switched them up, and it was working just fine. CarPlay was now available on my car. Again, no need to switch out car, guys. Yeah, no need to worry. You can have the same car with the same old USB-A ports, just need to buy a new cable. Other than that, the iPhone 15 Pro Max has been a delight to use, a very big impact on my life on the last 2 weeks, with a new camera system, with USB-C and the action button, and of course, the fix for the battery life and the overheating issues. I'm truly happy with the iPhone 15 Pro Max in the last 2 weeks, and I can say now, finally, all the problems have been fixed, no more issues, right? Of course not. Most of you will buy the iPhone 15 Pro Max and you will find things that you won't like, you will find things that you love. At the end of the day, it's a balanced work that Apple does. They compromise somewhere to make you happy in other places, like they compromised on the durability a bit of this iPhone with the curved edges, so they could make it a bit more comfortable. But at the end of the day, that's choices that they did. That choices that you gotta think, was they worth it? Were they not worth it? And for me, they were totally worth it. And I can recommend this iPhone for you very, very well, because I think it's an incredible phone. But let me know in the comments below what you think. I've bought the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I will compare it to this iPhone in the next week. If you are excited, don't forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. This is me, Texmer, talking to you here. Bye-bye.